What name is guy? Itauma. Moses Atama. I think he's a great fighter. The young, 20 years, yeah?
20.
Yeah, 20 years. I think Itauma have big future.
Everybody is talking about what will happen next in boxing, and now Oleksandr Usyk's team has finally shared their thoughts. His future has become one of the biggest talks in the sport, and fans want to know what is really going on.
Turkey's put out that he wants to see you fight Oleksandr Usyk next. Reaction to that?
I want to do it as well, but it's not in my hands, is it?
Would you fight him?
Of course.
Yeah.
No, man.
Boxing fans are excited right now, and all eyes are on Oleksandr Usyk. After beating Daniel Dubois and keeping his world titles, Usyk has shown again why he is the best. But now, many fighters want a chance to face him. One of the loudest names is Moses Atama, only 20 years old, who shocked everyone when he knocked out Dillian Whyte in less than a minute. Even with all the talk, Usyk's team says the champion is not rushing. He wants to take his time, rest, and decide what comes next on his own terms.
Must have a view of what level you're at now.
If you want my honest opinion, I think if my skill set, if you're talking about my ring IQ and what I display in the ring, I feel like I am the best in the world, but I haven't displayed the later rounds. That's all what I kind of want to get ticked off. So my next opponent or opponents this year, we're just looking at fights to kind of get me into that later round, because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him, but I feel like towards the later rounds, he'll just outdo me, because I've never been in that sort of fight.
When Usyk beat Daniel Dubois with a big knockout in the 5th round, he added another win to his long list of achievements. The 38-year-old from Ukraine has now proved himself as one of the greatest heavyweights in modern boxing, becoming a 2-time undisputed champion. His team, led by Sergey Lepan, says that Usyk has earned the right to decide what comes next. After such a tough and historic journey, they believe he deserves time to heal his body, clear his mind, and enjoy moments with his family.
You expect Joseph to get a shot at Usyk anytime soon?
I don't know. I don't know. You know, Joe's doing everything within his power. He was at Wembley, he got in the ring, he's done those famous call-out videos, and I don't know. I think it's probably 80% 22 against getting the fight with Usyk. But the WBO have ordered Joseph as the mandatory. Usyk has 30 days. That should be coming up soon. Should be coming to an end. And in that case, Joe will fight, either become the full champion or fight, which I would prefer, fight for the vacant title. And, you know, the winner of Saturday night could be the opponent in the opposite corner. You never know.
Ever happening, because I think that's one of the fights that Oleksandr Usyk shouldn't take. Moses Atama, but I also don't think it's right for Moses at this moment in time.
Well, listen, let's start off with Oleksandr Usyk is a fight where you get to a stage where you're in the twilight of your career, and he's probably going to have one more fight, if he has one more fight, and that's possibly this man here. But you go, like, at some point,
which, by the way, he's earned.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. But at this, you know, when you got the young kids coming through, it would be a disaster for Moses Atama to take a fight against Oleksandr Usyk now, because you got a kid that's going to potentially be, you know, the next dominant force of heavyweight boxing for maybe the next 10 years.
Let me ask you two boys about Moses. I mean, obviously he's a competitor, he's a rival. He's the young one that's getting a lot of attention and blasting people out. You've just landed in the heavyweights, Lawrence. When you think of Moses Atama, what do you think of?
Yeah, I think of pretty much what everyone else is saying. Obviously I've sparred him, I've seen him, and it's not fake. Like, it hasn't come from out of thin air. The guy's actually really good at boxing, I'll be honest with you.
Yep.
So we have to obviously wait and see how he does the rounds, see how it is under pressure of fight nights. But ultimately, from everything that I know of him, he's got a good mindset, and he is someone that if I was just looking at as a fan, I would get behind at this early stage, because to be 20 and doing the stuff that he's doing, like,
it's quite impressive.
But the heavyweight world is full of excitement right now, especially with young stars like Moses Atama rising so quickly. Atama is only 20 years old, yet he has already shown amazing strength and sharp skill inside the ring. In his latest fight, he shocked everyone by stopping Dillian Whyte, a former world title challenger, in just the 1st round. The crowd in Saudi Arabia couldn't believe how fast it ended. That win was his 9th straight victory by knockout. all of them coming within 2 rounds. For someone so young, it's an unbelievable record, and it has pushed Atama's name straight to the front of the heavyweight talk.
See Mosey with Oleksandr Usyk next, or too soon?
No, calm down. Let's get him in with Hrgovic, Caballel, those kind of guys, Bacoli, Jarrell Miller. Get the rounds, but he's a brilliant talent.
From Dillian White, but you've got to look at it. What's the next step after Dillian White?
I think a few more like that.
Yeah, but who is there? So he goes Dillian White, who does he go next? Joseph Parker? I just think they let him off the leash. He's not ready, don't get me wrong, he's not ready for Oleksandr Usyk in any way, shape or form. A man who hasn't been past 6 or 7 rounds cannot be ready.
As everyone expected, Moses Atama's fast rise has already made people call for a fight with big champions like Usyk. Atama and his team say they are open to it, but many in boxing warn that it might be too soon for such a huge challenge. Famous trainer Teddy Atlas has spoken about it too. He admits Atama is full of talent, but he believes the young fighter still has much to learn. Jumping into the ring with someone as skilled and experienced as Usyk right now, he says, could be rushing
He's
things.
special. He's 20 years old. He's a good kid. He seems to have a good head on his shoulders, not just boxing-wise, but life-wise. Seems to have people around him in his life. He's got a great promoter in Frank Warren, but he sees everything. He knows where to go, where not to go. He doesn't waste anything. That's amazing for me, how this guy doesn't waste anything. Oh my God. He is well trained. Ben Davidson and his other coaches that were there before Ben Davidson, give them credit. They've taught this guy good technique. All the technique he's gonna need to go with that fabulous ability that God gave him, that his parents bequeathed on him in genetics. You can have all the ability in the world, but you have to have the technique to use it properly. He has that too. He's been taught.
Teddy Atlas explained it in a clear way. He said that even though Moses Atama has amazing potential, fighting Usyk right now would be like trying to climb the tallest mountain without being ready. Atlas thinks Atama needs more time in the ring and should face other strong fighters first, so he can gain the experience he'll need before stepping onto the biggest stage of all.
I would also wait on a Usyk fight. I know that Turki Alalshikh is talking about that, and that might come to pass with the money and everything else. But for me, if I'm with Moses, I'm saying let him get 1 or 2 more fights before we go to the top of Mount Everest. Let's climb a couple more peaks. Let's go. There's a mountain over there, and there's another one over there. Let's climb them, and then we're ready for the ultimate.
Carl Froch shared the same warning. He said Moses Atama should not be rushed into a fight with Usyk too soon. Froch pointed out that Usyk has years of experience in both amateur and professional boxing, with many world championship fights under his belt. Atama, on the other hand, is only at the start of his career. Froch warned that going up against a fighter as skilled and seasoned as Usyk could end Atama's journey before it even really begins. Even though Atama shows great promise, right now such a fight could turn into a dangerous mismatch.
You can't rush Atama. For me, if I'm managing Atama, you're not chucking him straight in there with Usyk, putting in an old veteran who's got hundreds of amateur and undisputed cruiserweight and heavyweight title fights underneath him, chucking him with a 20-year-old young gun, because that could be the finishing of him, couldn't it?
His Excellency is a fan.
Yeah.
He's a fan, so therefore he wants what fans want. But he's not a coach, so therefore coach will say, no, this is best for the fighter. He's not the fighter, so he wants, he's in a position to try and get the dream fights. So, and you can't blame that, because he's doing what he does. The managers and the trainers have got to do what they do, protect the fight or let you fight off the leash. So,
but for us, then it's going to be a Hrgovic fight. It's a step up. Yeah. Have another look at him, see where he's going, and then build on from that. And maybe if Usyk's still around in a year or so, because he might be, because he loves the sport, doesn't he? He's a trainer, he loves it. That might be a fight in 12 to 18 months. But for now, 20-year-old Moses Atama with a performance like that, if he then steps in again and then steps up a little level against Hrgovic, because it would be a step up, demolishes him, it's going to be hard to match him up with anyone but a world champion. So we've got to see how the landscape changes and what opens up if a belt does become vacant.
We can handle that responsibility, and so far how he talks before, during, after. There was no badness between him and Dylan in the build to this fight. He was respectful. He said, you know what, I sent you a message when I was 14 years old to ask to spar with you. He was respectful and humble. I thought, I like that. And so it's just how he handles all this adulation, how he handles the business side of it.
On the other hand, David Haye has a much more confident view of Atama's future. He believes Atama could follow in the footsteps of Lennox Lewis and even go further, becoming Britain's next great heavyweight star. Haye says Atama has the skills and power to one day be a global boxing superstar, maybe even bigger than Lewis himself. While Haye's words are full of praise, he also reminds fans that greatness takes time. Atama still has a journey ahead before he can prove he's the very best in the world, but Haye sees all the signs of a future
Tyson
champion.
Fury sparred enough rounds with Itauma to know what type of force he is, and you know he's tasted Usyk's power. He's got 24 rounds of action, so he knows both of them very well, and you got to take it seriously. You know, if he says that, you know, fair enough. All he's doing is diminishing, you know, his value. As he lost to Usyk, and if he says Moses is better than and is going to wreck Usyk, does that mean that Moses is better than him?
Tyson Fury has also shared his thoughts about Atama possibly fighting Usyk. Fury, who knows all about being on top of the heavyweight world, surprised many by saying he thinks Atama could actually beat Usyk. It was a bold claim, but not shocking, since Fury is known for making strong predictions. He believes Atama's moment is coming soon, and that the young Brit has what it takes to outshine today's heavyweight stars. Fury's words have only made the talk around an Usyk versus Atama fight even louder, with some fans calling it a true passing of the torch, even though Atama is still so new to the game.
I keep getting asked about young Moses Atama fighting Oleksandr Usyk and fighting other big names. And my opinion is not someone who don't know boxing. My opinion is someone who has been there and won every single belt, won everything there is to win in boxing, and done very well. Moses Atama will wreck all them old men out of the division. Usyk, AJ, Miller, whoever there is who's old, Zhang, whoever else there is, Luis Ortiz, all these big names of the past are all a spent force. And even the world champion now, if they took my belts and give them to Usyk, Moses will wreck him, because he's a young man versus an old man. An old man can't.
But not everyone agrees with Fury's bold prediction. Amir Khan has also spoken up, and his view is very different. Khan, who himself rose to fame as a teenager in boxing, warned that Atama might be moving too fast. He said Atama should slow down, take his time, and fight opponents who can test him in the later rounds. According to Khan, if Atama jumps into a fight with Usyk too soon, it could actually hurt his long-term career. His warning echoes what many others have been saying. Atama is a huge talent, but still too raw for a challenge this big just yet.
You don't want to rush him. You want to take it easy. You want to take it slow. Don't rush him. Let him enjoy. He's still 20 years old. Let him get to 22, 23 years old. And that's the time you start putting him in with the top names in boxing, like the Usyks and like the Wilders or even the Joshuas and the Furies. At the moment, I think you should keep on building him. Let him keep on winning like this. I mean, if he'll keep on knocking him out, getting some good fighters, but not the world title level. I mean, what if he wins the world title at 21, what's he going to do then? He can't go backwards, you know what I mean?
Derek Chisora, who once fought Usyk himself, is also strongly against the idea of Atama facing him right now. Chisora, a tough and seasoned heavyweight, believes Usyk's experience and smart tactics would be way too much for the young fighter to deal with. He said Usyk's skill, built over many years of fighting at the top level, would simply overwhelm Atama. In Chisora's eyes, stepping in with Usyk now would be a mistake. He insists Atama should build his career step by step, facing fighters who can help him grow, instead of rushing into a dangerous fight that could set him back too early.
When you look at the future for Itauma, what do you think about his next for him?
Next one, don't know. Depends with the paymasters. Where do you want to put him?
Okay. Do you think Usyk's potential? Do you think there is a potential for him to fight Usyk?
Usyk could blow the smoke out of him. Usyk could kill him.
In the end, the debate over Moses Atama fighting Oleksandr Usyk shows just how tricky it can be for young fighters with big talent. Atama's knockout power and fast climb through the ranks have caught the world's eye, but the boxing community is split. Some say he already has what it takes to be a champion, while others warn that jumping in too soon could hurt his career. For Usyk, the focus stays on his recovery and what comes next. The WBO has ordered him to fight Joseph Parker, but Usyk has asked for more time because of an injury. So for now, fans can only wait and watch. One thing is certain, the future of the heavyweight division looks explosive, and both Usyk and Itauma will play a huge part in it.